After collecting all of your images, possibilities for themes, you're ready to start assembling. So if you're using a cardboard box, just cut off the back. It's good to measure it out so your edges are straight. Use a ruler. And then simply cut that out. Once you have that, then you're ready to start loosely cutting your images. You may want to add detail later. Put glue, and it's better just to put glue in the middle. Don't glue it all down because you may want to underlap pieces later. Start with your background first. These are the images that will go behind your main focal points. Again, just a little bit of glue in the middle so that you can tuck things under later. And just start assembling. It's good to have it assembled and have a plan before you actually start gluing. And just slowly glue into place. Don't worry too much about getting the glue exactly even. If it drips out, that's okay, because we're going to layer everything in glue at the end. Gluing features. I wanted the little girl to be a little more menacing, so I added these bigger, stronger eyes. And if you really do a neat cut around your images, it just helps the overall effect. So loose cut them out first, and then as you begin to choose and place the items, really be careful. Here's what I mean about tucking under. If you leave those edges without glue, it's easier to tuck images under for a really nice overlapped look. You don't want any background of your board showing when you're done. I think you can tell the theme for this particular collage, it being a very surreal time. You've probably heard people say that this time and what we're doing is so surreal. Fits in with this collage theme. Now here I'm adding these people upside down, reminiscent of Chagall's tendency to do that. And here I'm placing the coronavirus as the bubble coming out of the little girl's bubble pipe. And the other theme about the upside down people, sometimes when things are so disrupted, we refer to it as things just feel so upside down. So that's another reference to the time that we're living through right now. Now you see I'm repeating the viruses, not only because we feel like it's everywhere, but as an artistic, from a compositional standpoint, repeating shapes, as you may remember, helps pull the viewer's eye through your composition. So it not only speaks to the time that we're in, but it also speaks to following movement in the composition. So I'm just loosely gluing everything in. As you can tell, you can add words. These were important to me. It's just what we're living through and experiencing right now. Now, with little tiny pieces, you might notice I'm using a tweezer that really helps to place little tiny pieces. And that's part of your assignment, is to have some small areas, like the little upside down people, these little letters, the little coronaviruses that are throughout. So the title of my collage and the importance of it is it's a surreal time we're living in. So that's where that came from. Just putting it on, finishing touches. Oh, and when you're gluing down, don't worry if things hang off the edge of your background piece. We're going to trim all that later. In fact, it's better to have it hang off the edge so that it does really fill up that background. And once you have it in place, it's really time then to go back and get everything glued down securely. You can do that by using just your regular glue, just to pull up the edges and put some more glue under there. Or you can also mix up a watered down glue. If you just put some glue in some kind of a container and add a little bit of water to it, you can apply that glue. I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Apply that glue under your images and then also on top. But if you don't have a brush that you can use, you can just use your glue. And here again, there's the advantage of not gluing everything all the way down yet, so that you can tuck things under. Overlapping looks great in these collages. It really gives it some depth. Okay, here I am mixing up the liquid glue, just what's water and glue, using a brush to apply it underneath. And then actually on top, it almost acts like a glaze. The glue will dry clear, and it'll help everything hold down and stay put. And like I said, if you don't have access to a brush, you just use your glue to do that. Just make sure everything's secure. Now when it's dry, you can turn it over and then trim off the edges, trim off the pieces that hang off, just to have a nice clean edge for your finished piece. Now the top piece of mine, I wanted the little spikes of the coronavirus image. I wanted to maintain those, so I'm just carefully cutting those out. I'm not going to trim it off all the way. So to the end, now I'm just brushing some more of the watered down glue for almost like a glaze that holds everything together. Dries clear, but it really makes the piece more finished looking. So here's my finished piece, just a visual interpretation of the surreal times we're living in. This one's inspired by photographs that I found of Tiger Woods. Had a little fun with his golf club and so forth, but then I wanted to express how much I feel like he's under so much scrutiny. People are always watching him, evaluating him. Eyes are always on him. And I wanted to express that in this collage. I've played around with just changing the features of this face. There's coronaviruses behind the eyes. I didn't do too much with that one. And this one is just a little more joyful. It's my celebration of all sweet things. You'll notice the little small figure holding the spoon. So have fun.